Not much, man. I was just about to have a hoot. What do you do?
Kind of something similar. You know, it's weird because I've always called a hoot like a joint, just a hooter, and then now a hoot to me now I say a hoot's everything. You know, you hit something that's a hoot. That's a hoot.
You gonna have a hoot? Yeah, I. It's funny. Someone asked me like, "So where'd you come up with that or where'd you hear that name Boot?" And I was like, "Well, it was just something we said. You know, it was a friend of mine. He used to say it, and then I used to say it, and I
Just
asked
to give it
around to
tread.
people. Yeah, and they're like, I was like, "Have you guys ever heard of it?" And people were like, "We've always called it a hoot." So I was like,
Yeah.
"It's still a hoot." Sure.
Hoot it up, man. Hootie and the Blowfish. Cheers. So, you on Facebook?
Fuck no.
You on Instagram?
Pigeons is. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, so is
Yep.
fucking
Yep.
Rob
Pigeons is.
CLTV.
Um,
Yeah,
I was actually.
yeah. Well, I mean, up until my grandparents moved back to America from Israel, I was consistently on the book, on the Zucker book.
Mm, mm.
And
The
unfortunately with them,
Z-tube.
man, they take your motherfucking info and they sell it.
Yeah. Well, no. Really?
They sell it.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you're telling me when I talk about vacuum cleaners and then I go through my Instagram page and I see vacuum cleaners, how the fuck is that possible?
Big brother.
Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? That's such a thing. Like I remember when I was in philosophy, my philosophy teacher was like, "Well, sometimes it's because those ads have always been there, and you just now take notice because you were talking.
Now you're
You're interested in it." I was like, maybe, or
Or
ZTube is listening to me. You know, saying I actually just read an article recently that says 14% of people, Americans in particular, trust these platforms with or these companies with their personal information.
yet they use them.
And I'm like, oh, are these people over the age of 60? Because I'm like, how do you even get 14%? You know what I mean? Like, it it's so obvious that our information is being sold at an incredible rate for millions, if not billions of dollars. That's where the next gold rush is. It's in personal
Dude, it's
data.
already here.
Yeah.
It's already here, man.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
a documentary on Netflix. Who would have thought that? I forgot the name of it. It's a good one, but it's about just search Netflix documentary about social media data, and basically a lot of these companies, they're taking it and they're selling it to the highest bidder. And for years, I ran an agency, and I was one of the highest bidders. I'd pay the money. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, hey, I want to target people who are couples, who are over the age of 50, who are near retirement, who have an education of at least a 4-year degree, if not more. Why? Because we're trying to sell multi-million-dollar homes near the beaches.
Mhm.
We want people who travel to the certain area, or we'd create a geo fence, so if they went to a certain place within a certain zone, now they're seeing an ad. So it's intrusive. It really is intrusive. But at the same time, I'm that kind of guy. Maybe because I'm a marketer. Hence, like we were playing GTA the other day and last night, and I'm like, you see that billboard? Like I'm just a marketer, man.
Well, the
I
billboards
don't
in
know
that
what it
city
is,
are
man.
something else too. They're fucking
They're
hilarious.
tight. But you look at marketing nowadays, and it's intrusive, yes, but it's also tailored. And I personally would rather see ads for things that I might be interested in that are going to be saying, hey, like it's quality. I want this product compared to fucking Barbie doll or tampons or something like that. I don't need those.
How do you know?
At least,
You're not being advertised.
at least I don't know because I wasn't being advertised those things. So there's part of me that I appreciate that. I like the tailored art or advertising, but the another side, I'm like, man, this is Big Brother shit. I don't like this.
Well,
I
and
don't like this at all.
there's no personal choice. You have no freedom of choice if you're being tailored to, and that's an algorithm might think it knows what you want, but how does it really know? How do I know what I want, let alone an algorithm? So it's like
Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
I don't like being tailored to. I don't like the fact that when I watch, say, a news video on YouTube, and then I watch like a funny video on YouTube. All my videos on my channel feed are funny news videos or news videos and funny videos. You know what I mean? I don't want that. Sometimes I log out of YouTube to get that
Oh, I know, just to see
fresh
other shit.
experience. Yeah, the trending tab is disgusting. So, but it's like if you were to log out and log back in under a new name or as a guest, it's like it's a new experience. Yes, it's still catered to what they think a new user should be using, but it's not catered to me. So it's like the idea that a company is going to present with you what they think you need is it's almost frightening, in fact, because
Yeah.
I don't want that in my life. I want to be able to have freedom. I want to have personal choice.
Well, they analyze the data.
The
That's
data,
what they
right?
do. They analyze the data.
And the idea of a database is frightening because it's very easy to get into a database, but how do you get out of it?
Yeah, well, that's the thing is the EU and in California they do have things for opting out. You got GDPR, I believe GDPR.
Yeah. Opting.
Stone. Been a while.
See, and personally, I just think that's a scam. They're only going to be able to get you out of whatever avenue that they have a contract through. So whether that would be like the phone book, whether that would be like an online Yellow Pages, whether that would be it's only those few things. If you still Googled your name, it'll come up. You'll find yourself easily.
If you voted, it for sure will. Hence why I'm
Sure.
never voting again.
Vote.
I just
That's
paid
another way.
$700 to have myself removed from the fucking internet because some people figured who the fuck I was
Right.
and are trying to find me. And I'm like, luckily it's not the same address that I currently live at.
Right,
But
right.
fuck.
Right.
It's in the vicinity.
Imagine
Jesus Christ.
imagine it with your credit card. Have you ever traveled out of the state and then used your credit card, or just a long trip, used your credit card and they shut it off, or it got
Yeah.
declined because it was like, wait a second, this isn't you. It's like, well, fuck you, it is me. You know what I mean? Like, it is me. That
Well,
happened
you
because
decide.
they think they know, right? And so what if the reverse happens and you are charged for something that you didn't actually purchase, but it says your card was at a location and purchased something. But what if you didn't purchase it? How on earth do you prove that wasn't you? How do you explain that a transaction wasn't you? I'm not talking theft, or try to get a MasterCard or a credit card company to just refund you something. It's very quick for them to take it, but try to get
You
it
can do
back.
a chargeback, and it's going to take you quite a while.
Right.
Quite a while for that. 180 days, potentially.
180 days. 180
But that's where you look
days.
at social media. You consciously give up your information, right? But there is ways on like Facebook and Instagram where you can change your preferences based on where the ads, how they're targeting you, or the cookies that are on there. You can go into your settings and go into, I think there's advertiser settings or ad settings, and then you could literally change the pages that you've engaged with, and it'd blow your mind. Some of them that you're like, I didn't go here, but some of these companies share the same tracking pixels.
Right.
So it'll be one master company or one parent company, and the sister companies will share these same pixels. So all of a sudden now you went to Old Navy and you got the Gap and fucking all their other companies all
Yeah.
fucking with you.
Yeah.
And you're like, I didn't holler at you. Just because I have a Gap doesn't mean I go to the Gap.
Right. And
What
that's
the fuck?
that's the same
I got
thing.
my
If
kids some Old Navy pants.
if you're looking at computer monitors on Amazon, and the next time you're on Instagram, you're not seeing Asus monitors. You're seeing I don't know. I picked a horrible example. Dell monitors or fucking. God, I wish I knew more. Steel
HP.
Series monitor. Yeah, there we go. Listen to us,
There we
old
go.
boomers.
I'm looking at 2 HPs. That's the
Right?
reason I know. You know what I'm saying? You got it right here in front of us.
So it's like they're not the same company, but they're using that same source to get that information, and that's
Or a
frightening,
marketing
man.
company.
And
even.
that's
like
frightening.
one market research company or a firm, one agency that they'll have 12 big, huge clients, and they have, again, one single source, and they're sharing that data amongst them. And it's light and fine when it's just ads about whatever, like a bra for a woman or pants for a guy, cool, whatever. But when it gets to this misinformation campaign, where people are literally targeting people who may be in like a rural area, who lack education, who have a lower income, and then targeting somebody who's in a very like liberal place, who's young and energetic, and has a big opinion and drinks a lot of Starbucks, and they say, hey, this thing that you're going to be emotional about, or hey, person over here, this thing you're going to be emotional about. There's people who literally are targeting based on data. They're buying data.
Yeah, there's
And
governments.
they're targeting people.
There's governments buying
Governments
this
doing it.
information.
Like, literally.
And this is it was proven that Russia had influence on the
Agencies.
on the people. Like they bought I don't know, I can't remember the statistics here, but they bought ads from Facebook and ran them as political ads in opposing areas. So, like you said, they would influence, liberal areas with liberal ads and conservatives with conservative ads that would pit each other against each other. That was proven. That was already proven, and that's where, like you said, if you're trying to tailor to me where it's like I'm going to get the best product, then maybe that's the intention. To let's try to get him the best monitor that he needs in his operation. Best way to do that is to throw 10 different kinds of monitors at him. Sure, but then when it's a government purchasing this information, who's selling it to them? Who's selling it to them?
Zucks.
How is this information getting through this web of just, illegitimacy? What's the path of travel for somebody's personal information database? Because it's like, how does it go from like a legitimate company trying to just get your information? I use quotations because, is it legitimate? How does it go from there to a foreign government? Is that business selling it, or is there a third party that's selling this information? Because it's like, what's the threshold of requirements to obtain this information? Can I buy everyone's information? Can anyone buy anyone's information?
Here's my 2 cents on it. So, one, there's literally agencies that do provide this data that you can purchase it for top dollar. 2, Facebook and a lot of these platforms already have it based on the actions that you as the user take.
Absolutely. Well, we hit the accept button, and I agree. Yeah,
and because they bombard you with 12 pages of terms and conditions, you're like, fuck this, and you click it, and little do you know, they said that, hey, we can sell your information off and place your images if we want to, wherever the fuck we want, if it's public. Or if you put it out there like that. Like, you need to make it private, you need to hide this, you need to not accept cookies, so many things. But the biggest key thing is when that happened, the restrictions on ads were different. I was getting away with running fucking cannabis ads on there. You know what I'm saying? Totally different. All of a sudden, fast forward to now, you can't even target certain demographics because it's like you're discriminating in housing markets, or it's slightly political. The advertisement's political in any sense. It can't be political at all. Or you're doing something that is taboo or fringe. They've changed it. Before, you could do so much stuff, and if you make it look like an article, that person's going to click it. If it just looks like an article, it doesn't look like an advertisement, it looks like an article. So these companies are putting out articles, and it was most likely a third-party agency that had some influence or that worked directly in conjunction with the government. Because you got to think about the simple fact that you've got a lot of people who are going to be having their own reason they want to have this happen, not just in the higher level of the government, but in the aspect that, hey, we're going to be able to get more money if this law changes, or we have this belief system that works here. So it could just be third party, but problem is, when the floodgates are open, they're open. And you are going to get some shit turds in there. You know what I'm saying? Shit birds, shit turds. Shit birds of a feather flock together. And unfortunately, if you've got the situation where you can do whatever the fuck you want, it's a weapon or it's a tool. Just like a hammer. You know what I'm saying? Just like anything. You can decide if you want to be able to utilize this for good or for bad.
Yep.
And I think it could be good.
Of course it could.
But unfortunately, it's being exploited.
Of course it could. We the reason we're giving this information up is for convenience. I'm willing to sacrifice a little privacy for convenience. That's the same thing with this Amazon doorbell, or the doorbell thing, where the Amazon employee comes into your home and drops off the parcel. You're giving up a significant portion of your privacy for convenience. And maybe that's your thing. On a less of a scale, I'm surrounded by smart devices right now, and if I so much as say the G word or the A word or the S word, I like this whole place starts screaming at me. So it's like they're always listening. And I'm by they, I mean these smart devices. Like, it's fair to assume, that they've got me.
Skynet's here.
So it's like I'm trading my privacy of my studio, our studio. Isn't this place beautiful, Rob? Like, gosh, I love it. I love what we've done with the place.
It feels strong here.
Me too. This is a place.
We need a little mini fridge though.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
No, this is really nice. But it's like that's. For this space, we're asking, are we willing to give up our privacy? And the privacy is someone's listening. They're picking up on all this. And that's the reality of today's, life, because you're not going to get away from it unless you're on an island somewhere with nothing. You're surrounded by technology.
Yeah, you got to get off the fucking grid otherwise, because, that song, I always feel like somebody's watching me.
Well, even
They're
on the
listening.
grid, you still got satellites. You've still got GPS. You need to go really, really far to get out of get off the grid, so to speak.
Mars.
You know what I mean? Mars. Even then,
You got to
Elon's
go
just
with Musk and
creeping up over your shoulder.
head up there with the Doge Father. You know what I'm saying? Do your thing.
Just play it safe. Play it safe. I prefer not to have personal social media. I put nothing on the internet that I don't want used against me in those kind of things. With deep fakes even these days, and the idea that someone can totally take my face and put it on
somebody
something
can
else.
Leatherface you.
Yes, can
Take
you
your
believe
face
that?
off, put it on them. Oof. Yeah, I don't like that. That's
Not
pretty
looking
sus.
forward to that. Not looking forward
That's pretty
to that.
sus.
Right. But at this point, anything is possible. Anything is possible. So nobody's safe. What a hell of a way to end it. You know what I mean? Just leaving a lot of paranoia in everybody's life. What do you guys think? Are you guys slaves to the smart devices like Rob and I are?
No, we're just sheep.
We're just sheep.
Yes,
Yes, they're onto us. They're onto us.
Zuckerberg is our herder.
I don't wear a tinfoil hat enough to just keep the frequencies away.
I know, that's my problem too. Is I used to do tinfoil underneath the hat, but it was fucking up my hairline, so changed it up.
Classic. Another great one, man. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed these episodes, don't forget, hit the thumbs up. It does us a solid. Hits the algorithms hard in the face. You know what I'm saying? And leave a comment down below. Let us know your views. And are we leaving that paranoia feeling in your head, or do we already know it's inevitable? We can't go backwards now. What do you think?
Until next time. Peace.
Hey, did you enjoy this episode? If so, hit the thumbs up. Don't forget, we got more videos just like this. Click them, leave some comments, and we'll see you next time.
And of course, go to watchcodb.com. Peace.